All right, guys, I am back again with another video. And in this video today, we want to talk about Bitcoin. We want to talk about that BTC USD because there has been some gains the last few days, but I don't think you should get too excited yet. Not just yet. I think we're going to see a little reversal, but then maybe we may be able to start getting excited after that. But I'll give you the full details and let you know what I'm seeing. And hopefully you didn't jump in there too early because you might not be ready to go. All right, so let's get on with this video, tell you what I'm seeing, and we'll go from there. So let's get with it. All right, guys, so we're back right here looking at this BTC USD on the daily time frame. My thing is here, basically, you guys probably getting excited thinking we're getting something good happening. And yeah, it's starting to happen, but it's not the happening. All right, so when Bitcoin was here, we were looking for the market to quite possibly move, but it had to break this structure right here in order to continue to the upside and then start this new move that everybody's waiting to see. So what we were looking at that point was if the market could stay above this point right here, this low. All right. And then we looked at this point here, we had some divergence. So what we saw, and this is what we want to see now, but we don't see it. We had a flat level here, right? But we had some divergence on the cumulative volume. So this is basically just like your OBV basically. So this shows us that at this point right here, the smart money was buying the market, but we were still flat. And then eventually the market moved higher. All right. So that was the smart money taking over. That was the institutional trading coming into play at that point. All right. So now where we are, if we look at Ichimoku and everything, we are bearish. Okay. So we got gray skies. We got a TK crossover that's bearish. We have Chiku span that's below price. And then we have price that's below the cloud. Chiku span's below everything. There's nothing hindering us. There's nothing to stop us from going lower, except maybe a few things based off of the market. So one thing that can stop us is this support level. So we did find some support down here at about, what's that, 40708, 90 or so. So this is a support and resistance level in this area. You could see we bottomed out here once and then we came back down here. And this is where we bounced again. So what I'm looking at is some divergence. I want to see divergence at this level because then I'll know that the smart money is buying this market. Based on Ichimoku, we're still bearish. There's no signs of this thing changing yet. Now let me show you what I'm really looking for. So when the market came over to this point, this was a flat little bottom, but we didn't really see much divergence. But the market did move higher. We stayed in that bullish trend that we were because we didn't close below the Kijun, below the cloud. We couldn't close below the Kumo cloud, so we stayed bullish. But this is the point that really gets me good. So here we were. This was the flat level. So if we want to put this bottom here, we're pretty much flat here, right? But at this point, if you start to look, so just from here to there, let's look what happened with the market. I'm going to show you exactly what happened from here over to here. So at this point, the market was still flat, not doing much, and we didn't know what was going to happen, but we kind of bottomed out here. And the thing that you see is you see this divergence. This is what we want to see now. This shows us what this is showing us because we're using the cumulative volume oscillator, the CVO, and you can find that on TradingView if you just look up, just type in CVO and you'll see cumulative volume oscillator. And this is what we're looking at. This shows that there is buying coming into the market. This shows institutional buyers trading the market to the upside. And there you go. The market went to the upside. All right, so this shows that basically that demand that we want to see in the market. We saw the demand come in, and therefore the market moved higher. So that was a good thing back then. So now when we get to this point where we are now, we want to kind of see like the same thing. All right, because look at we're kind of flat. We're not flat. That's why I'm thinking we're going to get another move. So what I'm thinking is quite possibly based on Tinkinson Kijinsen, you're a little flat here with your Tinkinson and Kijinsen, which shows no momentum at this point. Like I said, everything's bearish, but the issue here still is that we don't have a cloud that's turning over. We don't have a really thick cloud. You got your spans still kind of angling to the downside. So span A is still angling slightly to the downside, and so is span B. Span B hasn't flattened out at all. So you want to kind of see it flatten out like this and then see the cloud get thicker and thicker and then roll over. We don't see that. It still has some angulation to it a little bit. So there's still some downside here. Now what would happen, quite possibly we could see span B flatten out here, and then maybe span A starts to roll over, and then we see it go over. Because a lot of times when I get to a bottom or a top, I can kind of tell if I'm at a bottom or a top based on the cloud a little bit, because see how thick the cloud gets when you're at a bottom. Now this was this bottom over here, and then the market moved higher and then dropped, found this bottom, and then it kind of rolled over. It wasn't real super strong at that point. But then when we got up here, you could see how thick the cloud gets. So when we're angling to the upside, you could see like the difference in the market. When you're angling like this, the market's moving to the upside. But then when you find this top here, the cloud gets thick. Then you start to see the spans roll over. So here span A started rolling over, span B stayed a little flat, angled up, and then this is where the market started to move higher again. Right here it started to move higher. All right, so then we got to this point, span A rolled over, the cloud got very thick, and then span B flattened out, and then they crossed over, and then we became dark. All right, we had dark skies, and this is where this took place because we're ahead of the market. So that's where that took place. So we don't see anything like that here at this point. We don't see a cloud that's really thick to let us know, because, you know, thick cloud, thick cloud, thick cloud. It could start to get thick if we roll down here a little bit. So what I think may happen is this. I think you're going to see the market move upside a little bit more still. I think you still see some upside on this BTC USD. Okay. And I'm not going to even tell you, like, we can't even talk about targets right now as far as like when we move to the upside, because we have a lot of downside still with us. So where I'm seeing the market go right now is it possibly could move up to these levels here. So I'm thinking that BTC pushes up to this area here, this zone right here, and then we could see another push back to the downside. Now at that point, if we push down to the downside and we can't break this level here, down here at 407, what's that, 4091, if we can't break this level here on the second attempt, we want to see divergence. So what we want to see is we want to see that thick cloud. All right. And the second thing we want to see is also Chiku span pushing up towards and breaking Kijinsen would be a very good sign. Then we would know we have a change of direction at that point, kind of, if we can break that level. But what we want to really see is this. We want to see, let's say, our cumulative volume, because this is going to show us, as you could see, where demand came into the market here. But we want to see this thing steadily pushing up, right? Steadily pushing up. And then we want to see maybe the market pushes up here and then drops a little bit, comes back and pushes down to this level again, or in this area. At that point, if we push down here and we flatten out and then we have divergence, then I would get pretty happy about seeing the market move higher, thinking that that possibly could happen. But then we'd still have to break structure levels, because right now, based off of Ichimoku wave analysis, if you think about it or look at it, you're still in a good wave formation. You haven't broken your end wave formation. So I'm just going to draw a quick waves. I'm not doing the biggest wave. All right, so this is your downward end wave right here. Your first end wave. You see that end? All right, so I'll change it again. So this is your first end wave. And that lets us know we're still continuing to the downside. So we went from this high. Now we're going to mark the next end wave, which is from here to here to here. All right, so that's the second end wave. In order for us to see this reversal, we want to see, well, if it's going to continue, it's going to go like this now. So we do have this V wave right now. And I think this V wave will push up to here. All right, push up into this area. In order for the market to continue with this downward move, it would have to break this level here. So it would have to create another N wave. All right, and it would break this level. At that point, you know you're falling even deeper. But if you can't get past that point, so say we get down to here, we push up like we are, then we push back down, make a higher low, but then we don't make a higher high. Then we're getting into maybe a P wave formation. All right, and then we could break the upper side or the lower side. We don't know at that point for sure. That's what I think you may see happening with the market. I wouldn't be super excited about this move right now. I would be excited to where it could go right now as far as like to this level, but I wouldn't be excited about this longer term blowing out right yet. All right, because I think once we hit here, we're going to get another pushback. And you definitely want to see a higher low, and you don't see that yet. So if you don't see any higher lows, then I don't think we're done with the downside movement yet. So I think we get that push up, maybe we get the push back down, and then we could start to realize where we're going. So I think also, let's look at this. So currently the main structure to break to see the upside is this level here. All right, but the market's going to make if it's going to continue, it could make a level here and push back down. Then this may be the structure level to break wherever that happens. And then when we break that structure, then we're starting to see the move to the upside. All right. And then definitely once you blow past the Kumo, then we're full blown uptrend. All right. But at this point, I don't think you should be getting too happy about what you're seeing. If you're in a trade, yeah, you'd be happy because you're making some profit. But longer term, I don't think you're going to be too happy yet. Now, give this thing a chance, and maybe in a little while, we could see that happen. But at this point, I don't see no reason to get all jumping for joy, thinking that the BTC is back in play. It is not back in play yet. All right. So that's what I see with the market. And I'm basically just using the structure of the market. The main thing that is helping me to see the market structure is Ichimoku wave analysis, because I'm just looking at those N waves. All right, so I'm breaking it down into wave formations, and I'm just breaking waves down. I want to see this wave is an I wave. Then the second part of the wave is the V wave. So you could see that looks like a V, a drunk V, a one-legged V, but it's a V. And then the N comes down. If you don't get that N, then you get fluctuation. You could get all types of fluctuation patterns. All right. So when the market comes down, you could get something like this. All right. You could get something like this. And then you were getting into a Y wave. All right. So this would be a Y wave. And then the market would break out another direction. A lot of times I don't see the Y wave that often. So what I'll see is the market will drop, push up, and then fail to break this level here. And then it'll stay down here for a little while, kind of do a wave like that. That's the P wave, and then break up to the upside or downside. All right. So those are the two main things that you'll kind of see. And then at that point, once because this is always a fluctuation level. So once we get this move, we got to break that to continue any direction. OK, you have to break that to continue any direction. And if you can't break that, then you're not going to continue the direction. You're either going to fluctuate or you're going to move to the upside or downside based off of whatever direction we're leading into this 2 level. This is the 2 level because you have a 1, 2, 3, and then 4 would be what we shoot for. All right. But that's what I see with this market. So if you're in a trade, I do believe you could be pushing up to this point. All right. So once you get there, then you need to start watching your profits. Be careful, because I think you may then see a little bit of direct change in direction. And then you could get happy about BTC. And I'll let you know when I think you can be happy. But just the market structure, I want to see those types of things. And then I'll be able to understand more clearly when this market may change. All right. But again, using the cumulative volume, we're looking for that divergences. We want to see divergences, shows weakness. As you could see, there was a move here. and then we had bearish divergence. This showed, what this is showing us is that supply coming into the market. The institutional traders are leaning more to selling the market, all right, as the retail traders keep holding on to this move to the upside. All right, that's what that's showing you with that divergence there on the cumulative volume. Okay, and when you see the move to the, when you see this happening, then you're seeing this flat. You're now seeing demand coming into the market. So therefore, demand comes into the market. The market pushed a little higher, corrected, and then dropped. And there we are. All right, and at this point, I don't see any divergence. The market is moving with it. Everything's going. You see a little bit of demand come into the market, but we need to see way more than that in order to get through this trend. I mean, this downside move. All right, so that's what I'm seeing. Hopefully this is helping you out. I'm trying to hit the, if I see anything on different crypto coins or anything, then I'm going to hit the analysis for you. But if you see, if there's something you really want me to hit, just let me know. And then also don't forget that every Friday we have our decrypting the cryptos with Ichimoku. So we have a video session every Friday, and you can look at the past videos if you look in the playlist, the decrypting the cryptos with Ichimoku. And also there's a link in the bottom that you can click that on, and you can watch some of those sessions. We just started it the last 2 weeks, so the next one's coming up this Friday. And hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Hopefully you're enjoying this content today. And if you are, please just give me a like, give me thumbs up, whatever. Give me some encouragement so I can feel enthused and able to do this and know that you guys aren't like, this stuff sucks. I don't like it. But if you're liking it, then I'm happy and I'm going to keep doing it. All right. So hopefully this helped you out. And till next time, guys, have a great one. God bless. So long.